We're here again with Deb Dillon, who is the Director of Property Services at the Archdiocese of Boston. Thanks for sticking around, Deb. We want to ask you now, what if there are properties that are not needed in a collaborative? What step does the parish take to sell or to lease? Because when property's gone, it's gone. So I imagine that this is a really serious issue. How do you help the parishes and the collaborative go through this process?
So, Susan, in a multi-parish collaborative, as you mentioned, there is a potential for surplus property. We have found that we have multiple rectories, multiple convents, multiple schools. And we ask that collaboratives put very careful thought into their real estate assets and their needs. Before a property is sold or leased, we ask that they form a committee from each parish, so that there's members from every parish represented, and that they have 4 substantial meetings. They do a walkthrough of all the properties, and then they come up with an initial plan of how each building would be used. And with that plan, we're asking them to write a report and to consider such things as where would the priests live, where would the offices be, where will they have religious education, will religious education be combined, should it be combined, do they have places for evangelizing, is there a place for meetings, do they have new missions that they're hoping to achieve within their collaborative, whether it be a marriage ministry or youth ministry. Do they have a place for that? And so when they write their plan, we're asking that they consider all their current needs and then all their future needs as a collaborative. We're asking them to think more globally and more long-term, because as you say, Susan, once a property's gone, it's gone, and it's very difficult to get those back. We encourage a pastor to put a presence on every parish, so that there's, for example, maybe the rectory is in one location where the parish offices are in another location, or if you've got an open school and there's plenty of activity there, that maybe parish offices be in a location separate from that, just so that no one single parish feels as though they're just a worship space and they have no parish life. And we found that that's it's been important to parishioners to still feel that sense of community with a presence. And so we're working with collaboratives and pastors to help them sort of find that presence on every campus.
So it almost seems that form follows function in a certain way, that they have the vision of what it is they want to do. We want to increase our youth ministry, or we want to increase our marriage program, or we want to start out whatever. So let's look at the property and where would the best space for that be. Is it that?
It's exactly that. Yes. Yep. Okay. So instead of saying, well, the offices aren't going to be here, let's just sell that building. Think more long term, more globally. How can we use that building? And in this environment, we're encouraging parishes to consider a lease over a sale. So if it truly is surplus to the needs of the parish and there is no long term future use for it, let's talk about a lease as opposed to an outright sale. So that someday when we're when there's so many people coming to church that they don't have the space, that we still maintain that footprint.
And your office can, this is the building we think we're going to use for religious ed, and it looks really fine, but your office can help them with an engineer or an architect who can say, it looks fine, but it has termites.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the services that you do?
That, and we will also help with, if a lease, if they're inclined to go in that route. We'll help them engage in a real estate broker and find a suitable tenant for the campus, and we'll help them with the execution of that.
Busy office.
Busy office, but it's all good stuff.
Good work. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being with us,
Thank
Deb.
you, Susan.
Thanks for watching Frequently Asked Questions at disciplesinmission.com.